Hello there, today I'm going to give you an honest, in-depth review of Sengoku Dynasty, and that's why this review is going to be a little bit longer because of the in-depth part. But let's get started on the process. So I'm going to give you a score for this game, and then I'm going to give you my final verdict of this game, and then I'm going to explain the reasons why I give it the score and why I'm going to give an early access a final verdict with conditions on it, of course, to balance that out there. So let's go on there and get started right now. This here game is a copy of Medieval Dynasty, basically another ripoff, but it is better in the graphics and stuff like that. So this game has better graphics, and that's where it ends right there. This game has better graphics, and that is it. Everything else in this game, Medieval Dynasty, is better. It has more functions and stuff like that. Everything is better. The sound in this game is utter crap. The music is copied from Medieval Dynasty. At least they did a remix on it. So they did a remix on there, but this here game is just going to be a 5 out of 10. So this game is an average 5 out of 10. Meh. If you got nothing better to do, try it out there. But it also has a warning: do not buy. So this is one of the few games I'm going to actually give it a 5 out of 10 and say do not buy it. So yeah, this game is way too early access. This game is 6 months too early to be out on early access. That is how early this game feels to me, and that's why I give it the warning of do not buy this game yet. It is a 5 out of 10, so it is passable. This is one of my favorite genres right there. I like going around the first person, building my town up there, and all that kind of stuff. But this game is a do not buy because it is just way too early for many reasons we'll get into in a second. So let's go over to the final verdict of this game, and that is right now, the way this game is, it will never be better than Medieval Dynasty. So if you haven't played Medieval Dynasty yet, go ahead and play that. Take your time and don't come back for another 6 months. So yeah, that is my verdict on that right there. So yeah, don't come back for another 6 months. It's never going to be better than Medieval Dynasty, even though it's better looking and stuff like that. It's just not going to happen. But anyways, let's go over top of that reasons why I would say that. So first thing you might notice if you start this game up there, I didn't start off the loading screen because it takes too long, but that is early access stuff. Don't worry about that. That 4 minutes. But yeah, the part of that is because this game loads up on a server first. So this game is a server-based game, unlike Medieval Dynasty where you can go on a server and play with co-op people. This game forces you to load up their server, forces you to give them their data. You have no choices on here. Your settings, you don't have anything. You can't do anything. You have no control. You can't turn this offline mode unless you do it manually out of this game, which I do. So yeah, I manually turn it off so I can play in offline mode, and it takes a while to get going on that mode right there. So yeah, starting off it forces you on an online mode basically, and forcing you online mode is a cheap thing to do. It pisses me off when games do that, especially games like this where it's mostly a single player game. Like I can see some value of playing with a close partner or something like that, but playing with a rando, I would never touch this game with a rando. I would only play with somebody who was in my house, basically. If I had somebody living with me that actually played games, I would have them play with me, and that actually like this. That is the only time I'd actually play this game with somebody else in co-op, or a close friend that actually likes this thing that I can actually go over there and beat the crap out of if they fuck my town up, basically. That type of thing. A good friend like that likes getting beat up. It's fun. And, you can play fight and stuff like that. But yeah, any other reason this game should be solo, you should not be forcing in there. You go to the menu system in here, the game does not pause because it is an online server game. So this instance, since it's a server game, it has no pause menu on there, which really sucks. Is that an arrow? Yeah, stupid arrow off the screen. There you go. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, since it's on server based, the menu doesn't pause, which is a really important factor for this style of game. Is going into the menu, managing your system, managing your inventory, managing your town, managing your village, their jobs and all that kind of stuff. The game needs to pause when you're in there doing that kind of stuff, but it doesn't. That has to change basically before I can release that condition. This game's never going to be better than that, because that tells me they have their heads up their ass, basically. So their heads are up their asses. It doesn't matter that they made a nice looking game and stuff like that, and I like the genre and stuff like that. That is a big warning sign forcing me to play online. It is going to reflect their gameplay, just like this loading screen message that pops up. So right now their loading screen message is just one message. It's not a tip. It is a saying. The saying is, if you think your survival is assured, it's assured. If you think your survival is not assured, it's not assured. What kind of generic bullshit saying is that from some chemical guy? Was he a fucking idiot, or they just picked his worst saying fucking ever? I have to say the bad words because I just find it so offensive and so dumb. You would have to be so simple-minded and stupid to find any type of comfort in that type of saying and think it's clever in any way. Sorry if that offends you, but I'm just being honest with you on that part right there. that just tells me they have their heads up their asses. When I first read that thing there, I basically imagined Captain Obvious sitting there going there, reading that and going, rolling his eyes and going, ooh la la, that guy's going to get laid in college. Like, what the fuck? Basically, that is basic crap. That has to go. It is worse than having a starting tip message that says, build a campfire to cook your food. Like, that is the type of basic bullshit you don't want to see as a tip on your loading screen. And like basically, those are the conditions that I have for them to get a better game than Medieval Dynasty. They have to fix that. So that saying has to go, and that other you have to have an offline mode. Basically, has to be in your menu. If they can't do that, they're going to have their heads up their asses forever, basically, in my opinion. And the game's not going to be worth more than 5 out of 10. It's just not going to get better than what it is right now, if they can't do that. Now, if somebody does link them this video and they do watch it and they can see that and they do that, then of course my opinion would change. My opinions can change not without a problem if they can acknowledge that that saying was utter garbage and they remove it and they actually get rid of that stuff. They can make that campfire thing. Like if they put that little campfire tip on there and they put JK, thanks for the feedback, I would like that. I would give them props for that. Basically, I would say, hey, they learned their lesson. They're doing stuff and they're working on it. They actually care about their game. If they don't do that, I fear that they just don't care about their game. And I wanted to take a good look at the water right here. So this is the water right now. It has no value. It is just a picture on the screen, basically. The sounds on there you can hear. The sounds in this game are crap and loud and intrusive. The bird chirping's all over the place. Nighttime you hear whoos all the time. It's really annoying. But that covers that final verdict, basically. So this game will never be better as long as they can't do that right now. This game is so early access that lots of the functions just don't work in here. So some of the things that you would expect in this type of game just don't happen. You can't build farms, for example. So you can't build your farms. You can't there's no farm animals whatsoever in this game. Nothing. There is no farm animals at all. You don't see anything in here at all to farm for animals. You can't farm anything, period. And as I said, you can't even build pathways on there. So I can't alter my terrain at all. Nothing respawns in this game as it is. So none of the trees are going to grow back. None of the ores you mine are going to come back. And none of the flowers you pick are going to regrow in the next season type of a thing. The next year. Nothing happens. Nothing regrows. And that is that. I cleared out this whole area and nothing's going to change. Like, I can't interact with lots of these bushes and stuff like that, which kind of sucks. Like, this looks like it might be some type of herb later on, but right now it's nothing. And the same with this little bush right here. It might be a flower, it could be a berry bush, but it is nothing right now, and I can't interact with it, touch it, or nothing. Too much of that stuff happens in this game, which is a disappointment, in my opinion, for that. But let's go on and talk about more of the gameplay and stuff like that. Everything in this game is going to be based on your dynasty, and your dynasty is basically your quest, and you have to do that by completing certain special projects, basically. And those special projects are basically building bridges and stuff like that. So you got a tower right here and a bridge. That is how you increase your dynasty level, and that increases your population max in this game. But right now, this game is so poorly balanced. Their judgment is just really horrible, and right now for their balancing system, it is just utter crap. The food is at least close to being right, so at least the food is okay, but everything else in this game is horrible, and you got to complete all these special projects, and these mining ones over here, which don't work. You can just build them. You can build these mining things over here, but that means maybe the resources are never going to respawn, and you have to build these mining things right here to actually get new iron for the rest of the game, basically, and that kind of thing is going on there. Same with that might happen with the actual farms that are over here that you can't do anything with yet. So they have to build these special projects to get your dynasty level up, and then that will for your max population. But as I'm going to say here, you don't want your 22 villagers like I have right now. It is really a bad thing to do because of all of their demands, which are horrible. As you can see, everything is in the red. The only thing I have working right now basically is meals and health. That's all my people are doing right now. They are doing nothing for everything else. A little bit on maintenance, basically. They're doing a little bit on maintenance, but that is it. They are doing none of this stuff themselves, basically. I am doing everything myself just to get everything to work, because that is how horribly balanced this is. And all of this stuff starts unlocking as you get more populations, which means don't get more population in this game. It's a downfall. As soon as you unlock heating, you have to go there and spend a whole bunch of extra work. As soon as you unlock beverages, you don't even want to unlock water because it is so horrible. One person is only getting 350 worth of water a season. That is it. So one person is getting 350, and I need 2,100 water for these guys. One guy working on a well should be enough to feed, do for 30 people. It's just water. Like, come on, the water from well. I know this is a pain in the ass to get it, but give me a break. You can have one guy get 30 people. It's not having 6 guys to get 20 people is just really stupid. And everything else after that is just really stupid for their numbers right here in this game. It really is. It's just really horrible. They're using 6 stacks of coal. No, that's not 6 stacks. What is it? 6 across the. What are they using on the coal right here? Let's check out the wood, and it stops right here. Like, have it start at the start of the menu here, and I was doing this for a thing right there, for example. Yeah, it takes 6? Yeah, 6 and 2. So it takes 8 stacks of coal right now to heat these guys in every season for their housing. So I got to make this up right now. And if I move the bark right now in front of there, it would use that. It has no priorities on here, so it will just use whatever's first in your menu. And then your other your general storage, if you have fur in your general storage, it will use your fur up there. I put it over here in my personal storage. It will use your fur because it's a heating item. It will use that up for heating instead of actually using your coal and your wood first if it's stuck in your general storage. And this is just an example. This is how much healing items these guys are using every season, basically. That, and plus all of these ones here, basically. Yeah, so all of those ones there, too. They're being used up because they're getting a negative value, basically, for the healing items. And that is what is working. And same for the weapons and stuff like that. It's just all horrible done right now, so it's just not worthwhile getting people for the health right there. Let's go over this for an example before I end this video on how to do this stuff right here. And this is, I have 6 guys making health potions, basically, and to make those health potions I have one guy creating the 2 guys working on creating the actual flask for these potions. The other guys doing other work too, but yeah, still 2 guys helping on that with that out there. I have 2 guys collecting stone for that. I have collecting stone for those vases, and I have 2 guys on farming for the flowers for them, and I have a 3rd guy collecting grass to help build some of the other ones on there, and then I have 2 guys collecting wood to have enough wood to do everything else, basically, to get all of these things. That is what is needed to actually get enough health items just to balance it out on there. That's how much guys is being used up just for that, because you need all of the stuff just to make that health potions. That's a lot of guys out of your 22 being used just for one thing. Security takes 20 of the 2nd best spears in the game, which is the best value to use for your spears, and they're using up 20 a season. How can you use up 20 steel things in a season just to cover security, and they get used up? Like, they shouldn't even be used up. Like, the wooden ones right here, maybe they can be used up after a couple seasons and break because they're wood, and then you have iron, and then you have these steel ones right here, but these ones are being used up 20 in a season. Is just, what the hell? That's garbage. And the better one here isn't even double the value. It takes twice as much steel plus leather, and it's not even twice as good for a security level on the items right there. So it's not even good. I got to make 20 of these things every season, which is, I got to get 40 iron every season, which means I got to do that every season, which means I got to do this charcoal kiln. That's why I have 2 of these blacksmiths going on there. I have that one there going right there, and I have these 4 wells just because I got to do the water manually, because these wells, you have to do them manually. These 10 buckets of water, they go away. The buckets disappear after you use them. What kind of garbage is that? A wooden bucket is used to collect water, then the wooden bucket is gone. So I got to make these things every time, and that's just 50 water. So I got 200 water times 8. That's not enough. That's 1,600. I need more than 1,600 a season, so I got to do this twice to gain water, then skip a season every here and there. But yeah, that's why I have 3 of these things going for charcoal kilns. I got 4 of those going, and then I got that going, and I got the wells going. So I got to do all this stuff manually. I got some leather things going in there. That's not really much of an issue. You need that for your best tools, but that's not a problem. But yeah, I got to do everything. So I got to debark everything myself in here. I got to debark it all. I got to make the firewood all the time. Like, what's that? 16 firewood to make 4 stacks. To do that 4 times what I'm doing. So that's what I gotta do. I gotta do this. I gotta do this like 3 or 4 times for wood. So that's 16 times 4 of logs of wood I need farmed just to cover the firewood, and then I gotta process that into charcoal to make it more efficient, just to cover the heating here and cover the iron forge going, basically. Then I got to use the rest of the wood for planks to work on here and make these buckets, and I got to go there and I got to make 80 buckets every season to cover water, basically, is what I'm getting at. So yeah, and that doesn't help when I have only two guys working on getting logs, because this is all you get for inventory space. Nothing else in this game will increase inventory space right now, and all those logs and everything in here has to be in here. I have to put this in here, or it's the only place I can put the charcoal. It's the only place I can put these things which are used for maintenance for these planks. Everything else has to be in here, and I'm only going to get logs to fill up this enough right here, and two guys covers more than what you get. So basically it covers 1.5. So 1.5 of my loggers is doing stuff. I could just take them off logging stuff. I have them getting, maybe get some more bamboo off the one guy instead. But yeah, I'm getting more logs than the inventory can hold at just 2, and they want you to have 4 villages. That means you can have like 4 guys going on there, or stack multiple of these things, which you do at the start of the game, obviously. But yeah, that is just horrible planning on what you got to do. You can't go into your menu system and easily manage your system. There's no houses in here. You have houses. You can't go there and manage your system very effectively, since you're an unknown player, basically. You go in here, you go to the sleeping mat. You can pick your towns or whatever, but you can't see where you are. You don't have your town. Excuse me, you don't have your house. You have to go into each house manually, find out who is in there, and find out if they're man or female, and then go in there and see where they are, and then move them in manually one at a time, because you can't name your houses or anything like that yet either. It's just a pain in the ass. It's very poorly done in this menu system. The beige on white garbage and stuff like that. It's just everything seems to be half-assed, poorly done. Shouldn't be even out yet, basically, in my opinion. And everything seems to be going to be one place for one thing. One place over here to make rice, one place over here to cook, farm foods, and that's it. You can't teleport. There's no fast travel yet. There's no horses to ride or anything like that to ride to make your travel a little bit faster. Let's go over top of, before we go there, let's go top of your character screen right here. So let's go over another cheap thing that they did right here is just this. You have these 4 little tabs right here. Leader perks, just 3. What kind of tree is this? This is basically garbage for your leadership skills. Didn't even try to that one there. This is like, hey, we're gonna have that in there. This is the tree for craftsmanship. I got 24 levels of craftsmanship. I didn't overcraft anything at all. But I have 24 extra levels in here and nothing to spend them on there, because this is all you get. You can't even stack up to 5. There's been like no thought process at all in this. Same with the warrior one. At least you have a couple extra right here. Bows don't even work for getting your warrior experience up for some reason. You have to go there and stab them manually to actually get experience on that. But yeah, all this stuff is just basic stuff right here. And Monk doesn't even do anything. It just tells you what your temples do. So the temples over here, you have to go there and get a buff. 10% run speed is like, what kind of garbage is that? And it's 5 minutes. That wasn't making me even extra garbage. So I have to run over to the temple. So I have to run over there, give them the item, the flower, and then get the buff, and then run back to my town. And then I have 5 minutes of running around at 10% increased movement speed. That buff should be lasting a day or two, not 5 minutes. That's just garbage. 5 minutes of 10%. It's not even worth my time to go over there, basically. It's just, no garbage at all. There's a whole bunch of shrines all over the place in this map too, but they're not unlocked yet, basically. They're not unlocked and ready to go. The places of power, nothing to do with them yet in this game, so they don't do anything yet either. But yeah, this is the general map. This is where I put my towns. This is what seems to be like the best location to stick your town in this game, because it is centralized. It's on the road here. Everything is flat. There's a mine like right over there, I think, and you can run around to these towns and buy and sell stuff, and buy shovels and stuff like that, since you can't make your own, and things like that. Things that are helpful. And there seems to be like everything around there except for clay, but you don't really need much clay. You only need clay in this game so far just to build your smith stuff. But as soon as you have that done, you're good to go. Just don't leave your clay in your general storage, because they'll use that all up there instead of using wood up there, and all your clay will be gone. Then you have to go there and farm some more, and then that's a limited resource basically in this game. But yeah, let's go on to, I think that covers the general gameplay. You get the gist of everything else you got to do in this game. You get to assign your guys some values. You get to assign your guys some jobs and stuff like that, like I'm working at this house. You manage your job. You get 4 different jobs to do. This guy, yeah, this is your max, right? Even my high level doesn't mean anything. I can only make 2 each, and you only have 4 sections to do. Every season, this is going to pop off. I'm going to get a whole 8 potions. That's why I have 6 guys doing this. That's why I have 6 guys making this. I got 4 guys making these ones here, and I got 2 guys making these motion sickness ones. The antidotes. Yeah, antidotes are pretty easy to make because it just uses charcoal and it uses these bottles here instead. But yeah, no variety. I can't use the other stone bottles. I can't use the bamboo bottles. I have to use the bamboo straw bottles, and I can't make bottles or water containers out of clay. I can't use the wooden ones because the wooden ones hold water, obviously, but I can't use those as a container. You just can't use anything. You have to do everything single-minded in this game. Single-minded way, very simple and very basic. If you're simple-minded, you're going to enjoy this game a lot more than I did, but I doubt it. I doubt it. You're not that simple-minded, are you? No, of course not. You might get annoyed with it eventually. Right now, with the limited things that you can and cannot do, but that's why it's just an average game, 5 out of 10 right now, and that's why I say don't come back to this game until like 6 months later, when they actually have enough updates to actually justify this game to be worthwhile playing, basically, for them, because it's just way too early access to be going around and doing stuff right now. So that covers that. You can see the little beggars right here. Did I cover that already? These piles of shit. I don't think I did this take right here. I did a couple takes right here, and I fucked up a lot because it's a long video. But yeah, you see this right here? This is a current bug. Yeah, all these little beggars stack up together and have their little orgy, I guess, they're going on there. And they're orgying it out and whatever. But yeah, their merchant symbol looks like a pile of shit. So from far away, this little symbol right here, it looks like a pile of shit to me. And that is one thing you shouldn't be doing in your game, is having a symbol on the screen that looks like a pile of shit, because that, makes a little mental image that this game is a pile of shit. It's not a pile of shit. It is average okay, but seeing that means I have to deal with shit to play with this game right now, which means I don't want you to deal with this shit. So come back later, 6 months later, when this game actually has some stuff working for it, then you can actually maybe laugh at the piles of shit merchant guys right there doing their thing, type of a thing. So yeah. That is that. I think I showed you all the basics on this game. It's all fundamentally basic and simple, since you can't really do anything else. You have to build storage areas for your storage before you can actually do stuff. So like this lumber mill here, you can't have a guy go working at there until you have a wood storage area built. You can't have a guy go out and collect natural resources unless you have a food thing out there. Like you can't have a hunter unless you have this food storage built. You can't have anybody in the well unless you have a water storage, basically. And so you can't do anything unless you have those basic storage building nodes, but you can go ahead and build a shed instead and put your own personal touches on there and build that out properly. I have that in my other villages. I wish I could teleport around there and show you that. That's a simple thing I did, but the whole simple thing I did for my villages is I built the shed, put it sideways, basically, not horizontal like this, put it vertical or whatever that is, or horizontal, whatever one it is, but yeah, put it horizontal, and then have all the different buildings in there, all the different sashes in there you can build for your dynasty storages. So you can put a wood storage in there, you can put your food, put your water, put your lumber, and put your armory in there. And there's ice in this game, not yet. But yeah, you can put all these storages on top of your shed area and has that as your central location in your town. So you can just easily go in there and get access to all of your resources. But I need this much room to hold my personal items because this game keeps taking them all, and I don't want them to. I don't want them to take some of my my premium planks. I want to make my premium houses up there. I don't want them to take my fur and my leather and use all that kind of stuff up there. I don't want them taking my good tools, basically. I want to keep these tools so I don't have to go build them every 2 seconds. In this game, extra coal, just in case, and extra wood in case I get screwed on that. Just extra stuff, just in case I need that stuff. But yeah, nothing else in it. Your village just run around, always in the way, basically, too. Not really doing anything for your game, but yeah, it would be nice to do stuff. I can change the season here, go there and change the season and get all those resources are gone. It'll take a while to change the season, won't it? There you go. But that seems to be good enough for this video, so thanks for watching, and maybe stay tuned for something else going on in this game for later on. Hey, so lightning effects, there you go. They got special effects and stuff like that, but yeah, we can check out the different thing in there. Oh, I kept it at 100%, that's nice. Usually it goes down to 90% because something isn't covered, like the health or the security isn't covered enough. Like I'm still gonna have to make some because it's using it all up in this run. But same with the maintenance. But yeah, that's good for today. I only got 2 merchants this year, this season. Basically, start off the rainy season. It's gonna rain. It's like it's gonna blizzard in wintertime. But that is it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.